In a grand chamber floating in the depths of space, the Galactic Council sat in a semicircle, each member representing a different alien species. The room was filled with advanced technology. Holographic screens flickered with data and star maps. The council members, with their varying colors and forms, radiated power and confidence. Their leader, a tall being with shimmering scales, began the meeting with a dismissive tone. "Earth is a small planet," he declared, looking down at a holographic projection of the blue and green world. "Its people are primitive and insignificant. They pose no real threat to our empire." The other members nodded in agreement, their arrogance clear. They laughed at the idea that humanity could challenge their authority, unaware of the brewing storm. As the council continued their discussion, a sudden alarm blared through the chamber, interrupting the meeting. Red lights flashed, casting an ominous glow over the council members. An aide rushed in, panic written across his face. "Urgent news!" he gasped, his voice trembling. "Earth has sent a distress signal. A human colony has been attacked by our forces." The council fell silent, their expressions shifting from amusement to disbelief. They quickly scanned the data on their screens, revealing footage of the chaos unfolding on the human colony. Ships from the Galactic Council, sleek and menacing, unleashed fire upon the unsuspecting settlers. The footage showed the colony's defenses crumbling, buildings exploding, and humans scrambling for safety. It was a scene of utter devastation. "What nonsense is this?" The leader scoffed, regaining his composure. "This must be a mistake. We would never attack without cause." He waved his hand dismissively, brushing aside the urgency of the situation. "Focus on more important matters. Earth cannot fight back." But the aide persisted. "Sir, the distress signal is real. They are calling for help. If we do not act, we risk losing control of the situation." His words hung in the air, a stark reminder of the consequences of their actions. Meanwhile, on that very human colony, a family was in the midst of their daily lives. In a modest home, a father named Daniel was reading a story to his young daughter, Lily. Her laughter filled the room as he animatedly recounted tales of brave heroes and distant galaxies. The warmth of their bond was palpable, and dreams of the future sparkled in Lily's eyes. But in an instant, the atmosphere shifted. The ground shook violently, and alarms blared throughout the colony. Daniel's heart raced as he rushed to the window, only to witness ships raining destruction upon their home. The joy of their day shattered into chaos. "Dad, what's happening?" Lily's voice trembled with fear. Daniel knelt down, trying to reassure her, but his own heart was heavy with dread. "Stay close, Lily. We need to find your mother." He grabbed her hand and they dashed through their home, dodging falling debris and the screams of their neighbors. Outside, the once peaceful colony was engulfed in flames. Daniel spotted his wife, Maria, struggling to help an elderly neighbor escape the wreckage of a fallen building. He called out to her, "Maria, we need to get to the shelter." But the panic in the air was palpable, and chaos reigned. As they raced toward safety, Daniel felt the weight of despair settling in. They had built their lives here, filled with dreams of a better future. But in this moment, all of it was threatened. The Galactic Council's arrogance had unleashed a nightmare upon them, and they were caught in the crossfire. The family finally reached the shelter, a reinforced bunker designed for emergencies. Inside, they huddled together with other frightened families. The atmosphere was thick with fear and uncertainty. People whispered prayers and comforted one another, but Daniel couldn't shake the feeling of helplessness. "Will we be safe?" Lily asked, her wide eyes searching for reassurance. "What about our home?" Daniel wrapped his arms around her, feeling the warmth of her small body against his. "We will fight for our home, Lily. We will not let them take it from us." His voice was steady, but inside, he felt a storm brewing. Back in the Galactic Council chamber, discussions raged on. The members began to realize that perhaps they had underestimated humanity. "We must act swiftly," one member finally said, breaking the silence. "If we do not control the situation now, we may face unforeseen consequences." The stage was set for a confrontation that would change the fate of both humans and aliens forever. The Galactic Council's dismissive arrogance was about to meet the fierce determination of humanity, igniting a conflict that would resonate throughout the galaxy. As the news of the attack spread around the world, chaos turned into determination. People everywhere watched in horror as reports flooded in about the destruction of the human colony. It didn't matter which country they came from. The message was clear. Humanity was under threat. In cities and towns, people gathered around screens, their faces filled with worry and anger. This attack had ignited a spark that united them. In a large auditorium filled with military leaders and government officials, the atmosphere was electric with urgency. At the forefront stood General Mark Thompson, a seasoned military leader known for his bravery and strategic mind. His presence commanded respect. As he stepped up to the podium, the murmurs faded, and all eyes turned to him. "People of Earth," he began, his voice strong and resolute. "Today we face a grave threat from the Galactic Council. They have attacked our home, but we will not cower in fear. We will stand together as one, no matter our differences. We are united by our humanity, and we will fight for our right to exist." His words ignited a fire in the hearts of those listening. They cheered, feeling a rush of hope and determination. Mark knew that this moment was crucial. He needed to rally every nation to join forces against their common enemy. In the days that followed, the world witnessed a rapid transformation. Scientists and engineers worked tirelessly to develop advanced technologies that would give humanity a fighting chance. Factories hummed with activity as they produced cloaking devices that would allow ships to hide from enemy sensors. AI-controlled drones buzzed through the skies, ready to assist in reconnaissance and combat. Robotic soldiers, equipped with cutting-edge weaponry, were built to support human troops on the front lines. The atmosphere was filled with excitement and urgency as people from all walks of life joined the effort. Engineers, scientists, and ordinary citizens worked side by side, driven by a shared goal. They knew that their survival depended on their unity and innovation. As the days passed, the once divided nations of Earth became a formidable alliance. They pooled their resources, knowledge, and technology, preparing for the battle that lay ahead. Mark Thompson felt a sense of pride as he watched the world come together, realizing that their strength lay not just in technology, but in their shared humanity. With determination burning in their hearts, they set their sights on the stars, ready to confront the Galactic Council and reclaim their future. The stage was set for an epic showdown, and humanity was ready to fight back. With humanity united and ready to fight back, the atmosphere was thick with tension as preparations for the first retaliatory strike began. In a large hangar, General Mark Thompson stood before a crowd of soldiers and civilians alike, each one eager to defend their home. "Today we become the hunters," he declared, his voice ringing with determination. He led training sessions, teaching tactics and strategies to everyday people who had never before considered themselves soldiers. Their resolve inspired him. They were ready to rise to the occasion. As the sun dipped below the horizon, human ships equipped with advanced cloaking technology prepared for launch. Each vessel, sleek and silent, was a marvel of engineering. They shimmered like ghosts in the dim light, blending seamlessly with the starry backdrop of space. The pilots, a mix of seasoned veterans and brave volunteers, took their positions, their hearts racing with anticipation. They understood the stakes. This was their first chance to strike back at the Galactic Council. Tension mounted as the countdown began. 5, 4, 3. The crew held their breath, knowing they were on the brink of something monumental. With a roar of engines, the ships shot into the dark expanse of space, their cloaking devices activating as they vanished from sight. In those suspenseful moments, the pilots maneuvered stealthily, avoiding detection as they approached the Galactic Council's forces. The silence of space was eerie, interrupted only by the soft hum of their ships. Mark could feel the adrenaline pulsing through him as they neared the enemy fleet. It was a cinematic moment, the suspense hanging thick in the air as the human ships prepared to unleash their fury on the unsuspecting aliens. The time for retribution had come, and humanity was ready to make its. As the first battle began, the atmosphere crackled with tension and excitement. Human ships engaged the Galactic Council's forces in a fierce confrontation. Mark Thompson watched as his crew prepared for the intense close-quarters combat that was about to unfold. They had trained for this moment, but nothing could truly prepare them for the chaos of war. Explosions lit up the dark canvas of space, and the sounds of laser fire echoed through the ship. Mark led his crew into the fray, his heart pounding with a mix of fear and adrenaline. They fought bravely, dodging enemy fire and countering with their own. Each ship in the fleet engaged in orbital bombardments, raining down destruction on the Council's warships. The vibrant colors of explosions painted the void, creating a surreal yet deadly display. Amidst the chaos, tragedy struck. Mark's close friend and mentor, Captain Bonner, who had been by his side throughout the preparations, fell victim to enemy fire. Mark watched helplessly as Bonner's ship was engulfed in flames. The loss hit him hard, leaving an ache in his chest. Bonner had always been a beacon of hope and strength for him, and now he was gone. This loss created a deep emotional impact, fueling Mark's determination to fight harder. He rallied his crew, his voice steady despite the grief he felt. "For Bonner! We fight for him!" With renewed vigor, they pushed forward, channeling their sorrow into strength. As the battle raged on, Mark vowed to honor Bonner's memory by ensuring their victory. The stakes had never been higher, and the sacrifices made in this fight would not be in vain. Humanity's spirit would not be broken, and together they would stand against the overwhelming odds. Stand. As the battle raged on, something remarkable happened. Humanity began to gain the upper hand against the Galactic Council. The tide was turning, and the once overconfident aliens were caught off guard by the fierce determination and unexpected tactics of the human forces. Mark Thompson and his crew fought valiantly, using their advanced technologies and the element of surprise to their advantage. With every successful strike, the morale of the humans soared. They had transformed from a scattered group into a formidable fighting force. The Council, who had dismissed humanity as insignificant, now faced the harsh reality of their resilience. Alien warships that once filled the skies with arrogance were now taking hits, retreating, and scrambling to regroup. In this crucial moment, the theme of good versus evil became crystal clear. The Galactic Council, with its ruthless tactics and cold disregard for life, stood in stark contrast to the bravery and sacrifice of the human fighters. Mark could feel the weight of this battle on his shoulders as he saw the sacrifices made by his crew. Their fight was not just for survival, it was a fight for freedom against oppression. Realizing the importance of this moment, Mark took to the ship's communication system. "Listen to me, everyone!" he shouted, his voice echoing through the fleet. "We are not just fighting for ourselves, we are fighting for every life they have taken, every dream they have shattered. Today we show them what humanity is made of. Together we will reclaim our freedom." His rallying cry resonated with every soldier and citizen. United in purpose, they charged forward with renewed vigor, their hearts beating as one. They were not just warriors, they were defenders of their home, and they were determined to win against all odds. With the tide turning in their favor, humanity's spirit shone bright against the darkness of oppression. As the final battle concluded, the atmosphere was filled with a mix of relief and sorrow. The surviving humans stood amidst the wreckage of what had once been a fierce battlefield. They had fought bravely and emerged victorious, but the cost was high. Friends and allies had fallen, and their absence left a deep ache in the hearts of those who remained. Many people took a moment to honor the sacrifices made, reflecting on the lives lost in the struggle for freedom. Together they remembered the bravery of their fallen comrades, especially Captain Bonner, whose courage had inspired them all. In the midst of this emotional turmoil, Mark Thompson stepped forward, determined to help his people heal. He addressed the crowd, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "We have shown the galaxy what we are capable of, but we must also learn from this experience. We can't let hatred guide our next steps. Instead, we need to look forward and build a new future, one that is founded on peace and understanding." He envisioned a galaxy where different races could work together, fostering unity rather than division. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council faced its own turmoil. After their defeat, divisions began to emerge among its members. Some still wanted to push for more attacks on humanity, believing that further violence could restore their power and pride. Others, however, recognized the futility of continued aggression and began to advocate for a truce. This internal conflict hinted at the potential for future alliances or conflicts, setting the stage for new stories in the galaxy. As humanity began to rebuild, they were aware that their victory was just the beginning. Together, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead, united by their shared experiences and hopes for a brighter future. As the dust settled from the fierce battles, humanity looked toward a brighter future. The victory against the Galactic Council was not just a win, it marked the beginning of a new era. With heavy hearts but renewed spirits, humans began to engage diplomatically with other alien races. Mark Thompson and other leaders worked tirelessly to foster relationships, seeking to build bridges instead of walls. They organized meetings with various alien factions, sharing knowledge and culture in hopes of creating a harmonious galaxy. With each successful negotiation, the potential for unity and cooperation grew. Other alien races, once skeptical of humans, started to see them as allies rather than threats. The idea of collaboration blossomed, leading to exciting possibilities. Together, they could share technology, learn from each other, and even create a new alliance to ensure that peace would reign in the galaxy. However, amidst this newfound hope, the shadow of past conflicts still lingered. The Galactic Council, reeling from their defeat, watched Earth closely. Members were divided, some plotting revenge, while others considered the benefits of peace. Tensions remained high, and whispers of a new threat began to circulate. As humanity took its first steps toward a cooperative future, they could not ignore the storm brewing on the horizon. Mark stood on the observation deck of his ship, gazing at the stars. He felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. The galaxy was vast, filled with unknowns, and while they had won this battle, they were aware that many challenges lay ahead. Whatever comes next, we'll face it together, he thought, determined to protect the unity they had fought so hard to achieve. The journey was just beginning, and the promise of a united galaxy filled him with hope.